In a dramatic turn, Egypt has agreed to host urgent negotiations between Israel and Hamas in Sharm el-Sheikh, talks that could decide the fate of dozens of hostages and the future of Gaza itself. The high-pressure meetings, backed by Washington, aim to secure the release of up to 48 hostages in exchange for thousands of Palestinian prisoners. Tensions are running high as Israel's delegation, led by top advisor Ron Dermer, faces off indirectly against Hamas, representatives led by exiled commander Khalil al-Hayya. U.S. envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are in attendance, pushing to finalize the first stage within days. President Trump has called for rapid progress, while Prime Minister Netanyahu insists Hamas must disarm or lose power completely. Deep divisions over disarmament and prisoner terms threaten to derail the process, even as families on both sides wait desperately for news. President Trump announced that Israel has agreed to an initial withdrawal line inside Gaza, calling it a key step toward a ceasefire deal. The proposal, now shared with Hamas, would take effect immediately once the group confirms its acceptance. The plan also includes the start of a large-scale prisoner exchange and coordinated security measures along the withdrawal boundary. Trump described the moment as a breakthrough, saying the first phase could begin within days. However, negotiators caution that major differences remain, particularly over Hamas's disarmament obligations and the timing of troop movements. Both sides are expected to discuss the details in the upcoming talks in Egypt. Russia carried out one of its largest overnight assaults of the war, launching hundreds of drones and missiles across Ukraine. Strikes hit multiple regions, including Kyiv, Lviv, and Dnipro, damaging energy facilities, gas infrastructure, and residential areas. At least 5 civilians were killed, 4 of them in Lviv, and widespread power outages were reported. Ukrainian officials described the barrage as a coordinated attack aimed at crippling the country's energy grid ahead of winter. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the bombardment as aerial terror and urged allies to accelerate air defense support. Russia claimed its targets were military and industrial facilities, denying it struck civilian sites. Emergency crews across western Ukraine are working to restore electricity and heating systems amid growing fears of renewed large-scale strikes in the coming weeks. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has accused the United States of attempting to overthrow his government, claiming recent U.S. military activity in the Caribbean is part of a plan for regime change. Maduro said Venezuela's armed forces are on alert and warned that the country would defend itself if attacked, describing the situation as an imperialist threat. The U.S. has denied any such intentions, saying its regional naval presence is tied to anti-drug operations. Tensions have escalated as Washington increases sanctions and pressure on Caracas, while Maduro consolidates power ahead of next year's elections. Maduro has repeatedly accused the U.S. of backing plots against him, a claim Washington dismisses as political theater aimed at distracting from Venezuela's deepening economic and humanitarian crisis. Like and subscribe for more breaking news.